He had read 47 books in 1 year. He kept a list on his phone. Self-help books, business books, psychology books, books about habits, discipline, focus, and success. He highlighted sentences. He wrote notes in the margins. He listened to podcasts during his morning walk and watched YouTube videos before bed. And yet, nothing in his life had changed. Not one thing. His name was Daniel. He was 29 years old. He worked as a junior graphic designer at a small company. He was smart. Everyone said so. His colleagues asked him for advice. His younger cousins looked up to him. He always had the right words to say to others. But inside, he felt stuck, like a wheel spinning fast, but going nowhere. One Saturday morning, Daniel's boss asked him to deliver some design files to an older client who lived outside the city. The client didn't use email. He was old-fashioned that way. Daniel didn't mind. He needed the drive. He took the highway out of town. The building slowly disappeared. The noise faded, and after about an hour, he turned onto a small road that cut through open farmland. He found the address, a simple house with a wooden fence and a small garden in the front. An old man answered the door. His name was Mr. Horace. He was maybe 70. White hair, quiet eyes, worn hands. He thanked Daniel for coming and invited him inside for tea. Daniel almost said no. He had things to do, a podcast to finish, notes to review, a to-do list waiting. But something made him say yes. The inside of the house was simple. No television, no bookshelf full of titles. Just a small table, 2 chairs, and a window looking out at the garden. Mr. Horace made tea without hurrying. He moved slowly, like a man who had made peace with time. Daniel sat down and looked around. He felt slightly uncomfortable. There was no noise, no screen, nothing to read or scroll through. Just silence. "You look tired," Mr. Horace said, placing the tea on the table. Daniel smiled politely. "I'm okay. Just busy." "Busy with what?" Daniel paused. "Learning, reading, trying to grow." Mr. Horace nodded slowly. He looked out the window for a moment. Then he said something strange. "Do you know why a dry sponge absorbs water, but a wet sponge cannot?" Daniel blinked. "Because it's already full." The old man looked at him. "Yes." Silence again. Daniel stared at his tea. Something about those words landed differently. Not like a quote he had read online. More like a door quietly opening. "I used to be like you," Mr. Horace said after a while. "Always filling. Always collecting. More information, more opinions, more plans. I thought knowledge was the same as wisdom. Isn't it?" Daniel asked. "No." The old man shook his head gently. "Knowledge fills you. Wisdom empties you." Daniel didn't fully understand, but he didn't say that. He just listened. "I spent 30 years learning how to live," Mr. Horace continued. "And then one evening, I sat in this garden with nothing. No book, no plan, no noise. And in that silence, I finally heard something." "What did you hear?" The old man smiled. "Myself." Daniel drove home differently that afternoon. He didn't play the podcast. He turned off the music. He just drove through the open fields with the window down and the quiet around him. And for the first time in a long time, he noticed things. The way the late sun made the grass look golden. A child on a bicycle, laughing at nothing. An old couple sitting outside their house, not talking, just sitting. Small things. Things that had always been there. But he had never seen them because his mind was always full, always busy receiving, never resting, never simply being. When he got home, he sat at his desk. He opened his phone. He looked at the 47 books he had read, the notes, the highlights, the lists, and he realized something quietly. He had been treating his mind like a storage room. Fill it more, add more, never remove anything, never create space. But a room full of furniture has no room to breathe. A cup already full cannot hold anything new. That week, he tried something small. He woke up without reaching for his phone. He sat by the window for 10 minutes. No input, no content, just a morning light and his own thoughts. It was uncomfortable at first. His mind was restless. It wanted stimulation. It reached for something to think about, something to plan. But he stayed with the silence. And slowly, something began to settle. Ideas came, not from books, from inside. Small, honest thoughts he had buried under layers of information. He realized he didn't actually want to climb the corporate ladder. He wanted to make art that meant something. He had always known this. But the noise of all that advice had drowned out his own voice. He started spending 30 minutes a day just thinking, not planning, not consuming, just thinking, sitting with his own mind like it was someone worth listening to. His work changed, not overnight, but gradually. He started designing things with more feeling, more intention. His boss noticed. A client asked who made a particular poster. There was something different about it, they said. Something real. Daniel smiled when he heard that, because he knew what it was. It was space. He had finally made space. Here is what that quiet Saturday taught him. You don't always need more. Sometimes you need less. Less noise, less input, less rushing to fill every empty moment with something. The mind is not a hard drive. It was not built to store everything. It was built to feel, to create, to rest, and to find its own direction. When you empty it, even a little, you give your own wisdom a chance to rise. You start hearing the things you already know, deep down, but couldn't hear over all the noise. The answers you've been searching for in books, in videos, in other people's words. Some of them were always inside you. They were just waiting for the silence. If this story touched your heart, take a quiet moment before you scroll, and if it meant something to you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Like, subscribe, and stay with us for more calm and meaningful stories.